Have you ever wished you could send a message back in time to your younger self? You know, just a little note of comfort, some advice, maybe a promise that everything's going to be okay. Well, today we're diving into a piece of art that does exactly that. We're going to break down Afra Atiq's incredibly powerful poem, Cher Moi. So the poem opens with just two words. In French, Cher Moi. It means dear me. And right off the bat, you get it. This isn't just a poem, it's a letter. It's an intensely personal conversation with yourself, but across time. And that's really the heart of this entire piece. The whole thing is framed as this beautiful, powerful message sent from the future. It's all the wisdom and all the reassurance that the woman she becomes sends back to the girl she used to be. A girl who, let's be honest, really needed to hear it. So, who was this girl? The poem starts by pulling us into her world, and it's a world filled with that very specific, painful feeling of not belonging. You know, like you're a puzzle piece that just doesn't quite fit, no matter how hard you try to jam it in. The poem gets so specific about these struggles, and they're all tied up in language and identity. People telling you that you talk funny, feeling your accent is caught on these fault lines between different cultures, your Arabic feeling clumsy and slow, even your handwriting being criticized as messy. And the heartbreaking result of all of this? Total isolation, no friends. Wow, this line just nails the weight of that feeling, doesn't it? It's not just about feeling a little awkward. It's this deep, profound desire to literally escape your own skin. Feeling so fundamentally wrong that you would rather be anyone else, anywhere else. I think that's a loneliness a lot of us can remember feeling at some point. But right then, at that low point, the poem completely shifts. The voice from the future breaks through. And it doesn't just show up with a hug, it shows up with a command. It's this powerful message of hope that cuts right through the loneliness, and it starts with two simple instructions. And there it is. This is the very first piece of advice, and man, is it powerful. It's a direct order to stop apologizing for existing. The poem is basically saying, hey, listen, the problem isn't you. It's not your voice or your accent. The problem is anyone who expects you to shrink yourself just to fit into their tiny box. And then it completely flips the script on all those things she was ashamed of. Your so-called messy words, your unique way of being. That's not a flaw that needs to be fixed, no way. That's the stuff art is made of. It's the contrast, the bold lines, the imperfections that actually make things beautiful. So what's the solution? Here it is. Stop trying to change yourself to fit in. Instead, go find the place where your authentic voice, stumbles, messy words, and all, is actually celebrated. Home here isn't a building. It's the place where you are truly heard and valued for exactly who you are. Okay, so this shift in perspective, it's not just about learning to cope. It's about a complete transformation. We're about to see how the very things that once caused so much shame become sources of absolutely incredible, undeniable power. I absolutely love this part because it tackles such a common mistake we make. The poem totally reclaims the idea of kindness. See, it's not a welcome mat for people to walk all over. It's not some curtain of weakness to hide behind. Nope. Your kindness is a songbird. It's a bold brushstrokes. It's an active, powerful, vibrant strength. A simple sentence, but so powerful, it's a declaration. This is the end of hiding, the end of shrinking. It's a final, definitive claim to your spot in the limelight, where you deserve to be seen and heard, just as you are. What a breathtaking image. It points out this huge disconnect. On the one hand, you've already built up all this incredible inner strength, a spine made of marble. But on the other, you're still afraid of the most powerful tool you have, your own voice. And here comes the promise from her future self. That fear, it's not going to last forever. A huge transformation is coming. You're not just going to find your voice, you're going to grow into it, to own it completely. And the way it finally shows up, well, it's incredible. The promise is that this change, this arrival of your true voice, it's going to happen fast. It's going to be something nobody sees coming, arriving completely without warning, like a hurricane. This is it. This is where the metaphor becomes real. Your voice becomes this unstoppable force of nature, something that cannot be ignored, something so big that no one could ever be truly prepared for it. That is the power it will one day hold. And so, we get to the poem's big finish.
It masterfully ties all these threads together: the pain, the advice, the incredible transformation, all wrapped up in one final, beautiful message sent back from the future. And this, right here, is the ultimate point of the entire journey. It's not about erasing the messy parts or becoming some polished, perfect version of yourself. The goal is to become whole, to integrate every single piece of you, the shaky parts and the strong parts, into one complete, authentic person. And this is why it all matters. Your personal journey, your pain, it becomes the very bridge that connects you to someone else who's going through the exact same thing. Your old struggles become your superpower, giving you the wisdom and empathy to help the next person walking that path. And here, the whole thing comes full circle. It's so beautiful. The wisdom you get from your future self, it isn't just for you to keep. It's meant to be passed on. The comfort you desperately needed becomes the comfort you will one day give. And we're back where we started. That postcard metaphor returns, and it delivers its final, tender message. It's just a quiet reassurance sent across the years. It's a promise of peace. It's a whisper saying, all that struggle, all that pain, it's going to lead you to a place where you can finally, truly just breathe. So that leaves us with one last question to think about. If you could write that postcard, if you could send a message back to the person you used to be, what would you say? What reassurance would you give them? What promise would you make?